Irene Etkin Goldman. Irene Etkin Goldman has had a distinguished career as an advocate for peace and human rights. As a member of the Coalition of Peace Action since the 1980s, Irene has worked for decades in support of the global abolition of nuclear weapons, a peace economy, and a halt to weapons trafficking at home and abroad. Irene began her involvement with the coalition as a member and now serves as chair of the steering committee and as NGO representative to the United Nations. Since her involvement, the organization has grown from just 4 chapters to an astounding 20. A linguist fluent in Russian, French, and Spanish, she has become an advocate for others, having earned a degree in Russian language and literature from Douglas College in 1965. Irene has become a negotiator, translator, defender, and friend. Irene's translations have appeared in several court cases, medical records, and in literary work published by Yale University Press. In addition to her work on peace and disarmament, Irene is dedicated to the empowerment of women, young and old. An active alumna of Douglas College, Irene has helped young women find their voice by pairing them with accomplished women in their chosen field. In addition, Irene connected a women's group in Russia to other women's groups in the United States, enabling the Russian women to establish their bona fides in order to travel outside of Russia. As nominator Catherine Kish notes, Irene is a wonder of energy, commitment, smarts, and caring. Her work as a humanitarian has always been driven by protection and empowerment of any whose rights are infringed. Indeed, Irene has worked tirelessly on behalf of many individuals. Among them, Soviet, Russian, and Azerbaijani artists, an imprisoned Soviet chemical weapons whistleblower, and the rescue of a young Sikh friend falsely arrested in Russia. These endeavors are most meaningful to Irene because she was able to organize solutions for their problems when it seemed no one else was available to them. In addition to these noble causes, Irene has devoted her time to the Nakashima Foundation for Peace, the New York Academy of Sciences, People and Stories, Gente y Cuentos, Planned Parenthood Association of Mercer Area, and more. Irene declares, "Take charge when leadership is needed with confidence in your judgment and ability and without any thought of constraint about being a woman. Maintain a sense of humor. Speak the truth." And that is what she has done. We proudly name her the recipient of this year's YWCA Princeton Fannie E. Floyd Racial Justice Award. Irene Etkin Goldman. Sandra Bauman. Clearly, Sandra Bauman is a leading force in community service. The American Red Cross, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Mercer County, Junior Achievement of New Jersey, and United Way all nominated Sandra for the distinguished YWCA Princeton Tribute to Women Award. In addition to a big heart, Sandra does big things. At Tyco International, she oversees the firm's community engagement initiatives, including their corporate volunteer programs and philanthropy efforts locally and internationally. Sandra is passionate about community service and works extensively to encourage multicultural volunteerism. This is certainly a tall order, but Sandra's passion and enthusiasm for accomplishing that goal is contagious. On the job, she has increased employee volunteer engagement significantly over the past 3 years and achieved a 96% participation rate in the Tyco's annual giving program for United Way. Sandra notes, "Most importantly, I need to feel I'm making a difference for those I'm helping." As one who builds community bridges, Sandra founded a group that connects not-for-profit leaders from the Princeton region to collaborate on initiatives and to empower each other while learning about each other's successes and challenges. Nominator Sherry Durst said, "Sandra is involved in so many worthy causes in our community. It is clearly her passion to improve the lives of others throughout our region. Her personal commitment to all of the organizations she supports is commendable. Whether organizing a blood drive, fundraising, or collecting food donations, back-to-school supplies, or toys for the holidays, Sandra is the driving force behind countless efforts. Her work has enabled many nonprofits such as the United Way, Eden Autism Services, Red Cross of Central New Jersey, Mercer Alliance to End Homelessness, the YWCA Princeton, and Homefront to thrive and focus on continuing their missions. Most importantly, because of her commitment, countless local residents have been the beneficiaries of her efforts. Despite a demanding day job and her volunteer work, Sandra found time to earn a certificate in nonprofit organizational development from Farley Dickinson University. In studying grant writing, she has been a true asset to Tabby's Place, a cage-free cat sanctuary based in Ringgoes, where she is a volunteer development associate. Sandra's actions demonstrate that she's involved in community service not for personal gain or glory, but because she believes in giving back to the community. The YWCA Princeton salutes you, Sandra. Sandra Bauman. Susan Picard Bristol. Susan Picard Bristol develops not just buildings, but communities and leaders who also go on to make a difference in their own neighborhoods. She credits her mother as being the most important female mentor in her life. It was her mother who taught Susan how to sew and how to use a ruler. Today, Susan is an accomplished architect, businesswoman, teacher, community leader, and lecturer. Susan says, "I was fortunate to have grown up in a home where the assumption was that you could study and become anything. By the age of 14, she had determined that she wanted to be an architect. Inspired by Eleanor Peterson, New Jersey's first woman architect, Susan applied for a drafting job in the Township Engineering Department, but was told she would need to spend a summer doing secretarial work first. She attended University of Virginia's School of Architecture, then obtained her master's degree with an emphasis on urban design. It was at this time she volunteered to rebuild substandard housing with the Charlottesville Housing Improvement Program, gaining hands-on experience while giving back to the community. She and her husband Hank moved back to New Jersey and were involved in the formation of the Trenton Area Habitat for Humanity. She became their first architect to plan and design a set of new row houses in Trenton, an ambitious undertaking. She went on to later found Susan Picard Bristol Architect, a woman-owned firm dedicated to the needs of individuals, communities, and institutions. Susan is LEED certified in green design and is licensed as a New Jersey professional planner. With a strong interest in designing for communities of faith, she has led many projects with churches and faith-based social service agencies across the state. As chair of the Rocky Hill Planning Board and founder of the Rocky Hill Citizens for Responsible Growth, her background and experience helped to maintain the town's historic integrity. In 2002, Susan became an adjunct professor at the New Jersey School of Architecture at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, teaching both graduate and undergraduate students. She has mentored numerous students, including immigrant children who are the first in their family to attend college. And as if all that isn't enough, Susan has donated her time to numerous community organizations, including Plan Smart New Jersey, formerly the MSM Regional Council, Homefront, Princeton Junior School's Learning Through Landscapes program, YWCA Princeton, Princeton Day School, and Trinity Church. As a leader, she encourages letting the talents of others have room to grow and emerge. The YWCA is proud to honor Susan. Susan Picard Bristol. Jessica Durie. Since opening Princeton's beloved Small World Coffee, Jessica Durie has done more than create a woman-owned profitable business enterprise. In nominator Mimi Omasinski's words, Jessica has created a community destination center for citizens of all ages and economic backgrounds to engage in thoughtful discussion and casual interaction. Jessica was born in Berkeley, California, and grew up overseas in Italy, Brazil, and Australia. Her life experiences gave her great interest in culture, leading her to believe that it's when we have mutual respect for one another and foster interdependence that a community is built. Jessica's ambition to be involved in the hospitality and food business led her to Cornell's School of Hotel and Restaurant Management. Enamored with the coffeehouse culture, Jessica began fixating on opening her own cafe. She and her business partner, Brant Kosoboom, traveled the country extensively looking for a place to open Small World, and they found the perfect town, Princeton. In 1993, she not only transformed her life, but that of a community, when Small World Coffee opened on Witherspoon Street. She says her formula for success is quality product plus quality people equals good community. Over the past 17 years, she has interviewed thousands of candidates and trained nearly 1,000 employees on how to be a worldling, opened another cafe on Nassau Street, and began Small World's own coffee roasting business. Her community-centric business philosophy has resulted in a large and loyal following. Rotating art exhibits, various poetry readings, musical entertainment, and an outstanding staff have enabled her to fulfill her mission of bringing a community together. With a strong interest in agriculture and sustainability, Jessica has been supportive of the Princeton School Garden Cooperative. For Small World Coffee, she purchases all natural, local, and organic food whenever possible and grows vegetables in her backyard, demonstrating her belief in the importance of agriculture, cooking, and the family meal. Jessica further embodies the YWCA mission with her involvement in a women's entrepreneur group. She gives to the art community as a board member for the Arts Council of Princeton. Believing that building a strong, positive, and fun company culture comes from leading with a generous, honest, and trusting attitude has helped to make Jessica's story one of true success. Jessica, we salute you for the role you play in our community. Jessica Durie. Liz Gray Erickson. Liz Gray Erickson has made community service her passion and career. Learning from her mother the joy of giving to others, she has taken each volunteer commitment as seriously as if it were paid. Nominator Phyllis Marchand notes, Liz has consistently chosen to devote her time to activities that reflect the YWCA mission. Whether opening her heart and her home to host a child during the summer through the Fresh Air Fund, serving as a trustee of both Isles and Volunteer Connect, or volunteering with the Princeton Area Community Foundations Fund for Women and Girls, it is clear that Liz is committed to the YWCA Princeton mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. Liz is not only a hands-on activist, but a leader. She has held leadership positions on the Board of Isles, Family and Children Services of Central New Jersey, the Williams Association of the Princeton Area, Volunteer Connect, formerly Hands-on Helpers, and Kidsbridge Children's Museum. Liz previously worked for the non-sectarian international relief and development organization Save the Children. At Save the Children, she co-founded Youth Noise, a web-centered nonprofit that inspires and empowers young people to become a force for social change, locally, nationally, and globally. Youth Noise spun off to become a standalone nonprofit with 158,000 registered users from all 50 states and 176 countries today. When asked what the greatest barriers are to accomplishing the YWCA Princeton mission of eliminating racism and empowering women, Liz responded, "In Greater Mercer County, I believe that a key barrier is a lack of awareness of the need and thus a lack of investment of time and funding. I thank the YWCA for asking this important question and for focusing your work to overcome these barriers. Indeed, I think that every one of us here tonight should ask this very question of friends, colleagues, and family to spark a community dialogue. We should also ask the next question: What actions can we take individually, institutionally, and as a community to eliminate racism and empower women? Liz shares an important lesson that anything is possible. Diagnosed with breast cancer last year, she urges women to get their mammograms on time, for it can make all the difference. We salute you, Liz. Liz Gray Erickson. Maria Falco Dotson. Sometimes we are fortunate enough to meet someone for whom words cannot encapsulate the depth of our awe and gratitude. Major General Maria Falco Dotson is that someone. In nominating Maria, Jane Kelly said, "She is smart, she is caring, she is inspiring, she is compassionate, and above all, Maria is selfless." Maria has been breaking ground in the military since she began her career in 1980. Maria was appointed in 2002 as the first female Deputy Adjutant General, serving in that capacity for 7 years. In 2004, she became the first woman to pin on general stars in the New Jersey National Guard. In 2009, Maria became a 2-star general and the first female Major General in the New Jersey National Guard. Today, she provides operational oversight to more than 2,300 personnel in 2 air wings, the 108th Wing at McGuire Air Force Base and the 177th Fighter Wing in Atlantic City. She has direct responsibility supporting the Northeast Tanker Task Force, the alert mission for both units, and air expeditionary force rotations in the combat theater, along with oversight of $91 million in federal funding. Maria co-founded the New Jersey State Family Readiness Council in 2004. The organization assists Guardsmen and their families with financial and other issues that arise due to deployments. To date, the Council has raised $1.86 million in funds and distributed $1.4 million in grants to those in need. As impressive as her credentials are, we also honor Maria for the difference she makes in her local community. She devotes her time in serving on the board of her alma mater, the College of New Jersey, and the board of St. Francis Hospital in Trenton. She also holds close to her heart the Youth Challenge program at Fort Dix, where she has worked with at-risk teens to obtain their diplomas. Because of her efforts, over 200 teens a year are receiving their diplomas and moving ahead in life. Her friend Jane Kelly may have said it best. By her very existence, she inspires women young and old. She is a trailblazer, she is a role model, and she is fearless. The YWCA Princeton proudly presents you, Maria, with our 2011 Tribute to Women Award. Maria Falco Dotson. Beth Ogilvie Frieda. Beth Ogilvie Frieda is a strong believer in paying things forward by doing the little things in life, opening the car door for someone carrying a handful of groceries or smiling at a passerby. She believes this is one of the easiest investments we can make as a community. After graduating from the Women's College Bryn Mawr, Beth began working for a real estate firm as a staff appraiser and later moved on to leadership roles in other appraisal firms. In 2000, she went on to establish her own appraisal company, Ogilvie Appraisals LLC.